Well, welcome to our Fox Point at Redstone Market Update. I'm Ron Wilstein, a broker at Keller Williams Luxury Properties Worldwide.
And I'm Doug Olmstead, Seller's Property Consultant on the Wilstein team. Thank you very much for joining us today. We do appreciate your time.
All right, we were going to talk about Fox Point, but let's begin by giving you an update, kind of an overview as to what's been happening in the Park City real estate market, and then we will dial down into what's happening at Fox Point. Over the past 12 months, there's been 1,454 sales in Park City, and that's homes, condominiums, and vacant land combined. That's all real estate brokerages combined, and that's actually up 9% or 120 sales from the year before.
So if we look at a year-to-year comparison of closed sales, September 2014 to August 2015, you can see homes were up 7%. From 505 sales to 539. Condominiums up a huge 20% from 605 sales to 723 sales. Lots down about 14% from 224 sales to 192. And if you've been watching these webinars, you realize that that's because of just a total lack of inventory of available lots for sale. Can't sell what you don't have.
That's right. Now, what's happening in terms of prices? Everybody wants to know about prices. This graph here shows you the home medium sold prices for the same period we were talking about earlier, September 2014 to August 2015. This time we've broken it up into the Park City area, city limits, and the Snyderville Basin. You can tell in Park City the average or medium home price rather is about level. It's technically down by 1%, but we're talking about a reduction from 1,347,450 to 1,336,250. So you put one other house with a slightly different view or slightly different finishes, and it more than is going to take care of that. So I view that as pretty level. In the Snyderville Basin, however, prices jumped 20%. That's nice, climbing from 720,000 all the way up to 866,250.
And if we look at condominiums in the Park City limits, up 5% from 521,000 all the way up to 549,000. And out in Snyderville Basin, up 13%, 339,500 to 385,000. Again, nice appreciations.
So we're seeing number of sales going up, and we're seeing prices going up. That's what you like to see. Well, you like to see that if you're a property owner.
Exactly.
If you're a buyer, you want to see it happen after you've bought. This graph here takes a look at vacant land. This is lots, medium sold prices, and you can see within Park City it climbed all of $1,000, so basically it was flat, technically, mathematically up 0.17%, but roughly the same price. Same thing really for the Snyderville Basin, 1% increase, but climbing from 325,000 to 327,250. $2,250 is pretty flat. But at least it's not dropping, and that's important to see. And while there's fewer sales, we're not seeing the limited supply pushing prices up. It's keeping pretty stable. Now this graph here is important because it lets you know how many people buy real estate in Park City with all cash. You'll notice that over my shoulder here that 2007 is where this starts. This is a percentage of people who bought with cash. We go all the way through 2014 last year, and then the last two bars is the first quarter of 2015 and the second quarter of 2015. The first quarter was actually the highest number of purchases with all cash that we've ever seen in Park City, 56%. That's insane. It's a lot of cash that people have. But then we also saw in this most recent quarter, it dropped to 43%. And that is in part because the interest rates are just so good, and some lenders have loosened up on their rigid guidelines, and so they're making it a little bit easier. So the folks who have cash, some are opting with the low interest rates to buy with financing even though they've got the cash. Still very, very positive, still way ahead of the national numbers. Now let's turn our attention to Fox Point at Redstone and see what's happening there.
Condominium sales in Fox Point and Redstone are unchanged over last year's number of sales. Just flat at 15 sales last year, 15 sales this year. So that's good. They're not on the decline.
Yep. Now we want to talk about absorption rate. We always look at absorption rate because this tells us, based upon the past, how quickly properties that come on the market are likely to sell. what we do is we look at the number of sales that occurred, say, at Fox Point, go back 12 months, and we just do the math and decide how quickly properties are selling once they're put on the market at fair market value. Fox Point units have been selling at a pace of one sale every 24 days. That's very, very good. Currently, there are 5 condominiums on the market at Fox Point, which equates to about a 4-month inventory. Now, National Association of Realtors says that the average market, a 6-month inventory, represents a balance between the number of buyers and the number of sellers. Healthy, balanced market. In resort towns, historically, a 9-month inventory is a balanced market. Just because of the seasonality of it, takes a little bit longer. So when we're sitting here looking at a 4-month inventory as opposed to a 6 or a 9-month inventory, that positively favors the sellers.
We look at selling prices in Fox Point and Redstone. You can see that they range kind of all over the board from $278,000 to $550,000, and the median sold price is $355,000, and that's up 5% from the previous year's values. So you can see the values are increasing in Redstone, and there it is graphically. You can see that.
So the median price the year before, $337,500, now up 5% to $355,000. Now, if you're interested in receiving specific details that make up this data that we've been given to you, in other words, which unit sold, what did they sell for, what did they look like inside, we're happy to send that to you. Send me an email at ron@thewilsteinteam.com, or
of course Doug@thewilsteinteam.com,
and we'll get you that information and that you may find helpful. I want to share with you, as we get close to wrapping up this webinar, how you can find out what the same sort of information we're presenting in this webinar anytime you wish. We typically do these webinars about every 6 months to keep you updated, but we certainly don't want you to have to wait for a webinar, so we're going to show you how you can get this information anytime you want. You begin by bookmarking BuyParkCityRealEstate.com/FoxPoint or thewilsteinteam.com/FoxPoint. If you do that, let me show you where it's going to take you. Go into our main website. We have 3 main websites. This is our most comprehensive one, viewparkcityrealestate.com. And in the top here where it says viewparkcityrealestate.com, if you simply add that /FoxPoint and then hit enter, it would take you to a special page titled Fox Point at Redstone Condominiums. And you slide down a little bit lower on that and you'll see 2 buttons here. The green one is watch a webinar for an update on Fox Point real estate. In effect, you're doing that right now. Or you can go to the maroon button, hover over it, and it turns purple. It says send me current sales data for Fox Point condominiums. That's not only going to be current sales data, it's going to be active listings and pending transactions. But you've got a very simple form to fill out. You can do it in less than a minute. Put in your property at Fox Point, assuming you have one, and a couple of details about the property, then slide down, put your first name, your last name, your email address, and then your additional contact information is optional, but if you're interested in getting our quarterly newsletter, Park City Link, include that there and we'll make sure we get that to you. And then there's a comments box at the bottom. If you happen to have any particular questions, put them there and we'll make sure we address them at the same time we get that current sales data to you. Then you just go to the green button, submit form, click that, and that information is going to come to both Doug and me, and we're going to get you that information. So you can do that as often as you want and be kept informed, and of course we'll update you through it with our webinars when it comes around on the calendar. So Doug, tell us what's been happening. Vail's been spending $50 million. What do you get for $50 million?
You get a lot. They have been busy with their improvement. It's been really neat to watch. Been hiking a lot this fall to see all the work being done, and watching those helicopters bring those poles in is just fantastic. It is just something to see. But the Quicksilver line, the poles are all up. They're stringing the cable as we speak. It's that'll be the gondola that connects the 2 mountains, making it unified now. And it's all in. It's coming together. At the base of the Quicksilver gondola and the lift there is the new restaurant, state-of-the-art facility, all framed in, as you can see, all dried in now, coming together nicely. It's going to be a nice restaurant. And then the bottom of the mountain on that front side is the mother lode. It could be a bit of a bottleneck there before, so that's being remedied with that high-speed detachable 6-pack, and that'll move all the skiers up the mountain quickly and efficiently. So these updates are fantastic for these mountains.
And there's a bunch of others, but these are the most the ones people are most curious about.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll keep updating you in our monthly webinar on this as well. We've got the Park City Resort opening November 21st. That's just around the corner. It's definitely getting colder here in Park City. Saw a tiny bit of snow at the very top, but nothing that you can do anything with, frankly. But it's coming. It's coming very quickly. And with Vail Resort's combining of the Park City Mountain Resort and Canyons Resort under the name of just simply Park City Resort, you can purchase an Epic Pass, and either an Epic Pass or Epic Locals Pass if you live here in Utah. And this will get you onto both mountains, both resorts now combined as one. So you're talking about 7,300 acres of skiable terrain. So like your legs would be rubber.
You don't think you can do it all day today?
No, I can't even see that far. But that's available to you, and if that wasn't good enough, that's on one pass. Then you could go over to Vail's other resorts, whether it's Beaver Creek, Breckenridge, even outside the country, around the globe, and use this Epic Pass. So it's pretty cool. We don't want to leave Deer Valley out. Deer Valley is our premier resort here in Park City. You've got them mountain biking. But Deer Valley historically opens for the ski season about the first weekend in December, assuming snow is there and it's up to that level and standard that Deer Valley insists on before they'll let anybody on the mountain. But that's coming around the corner too. So you should be able to get on to Park City Resort earlier, and then Deer Valley. Gotta wait for the food.
Absolutely.
Gotta wait for the grooming, that corduroy. Anyway, it's worth the wait. Now, with all this talk about the improvements, the $50 million that Vail's putting into the Park City Resort, we often get asked this question: what impact will those improvements have on the Park City real estate market? We're not going to take the time on this short webinar to cover it, but in our monthly Park City Market Talk webinar that we do on the 15th of every month, our upcoming one, October 15th, we're going to address this topic in detail. So kind of giving you a sneak preview that that's what's coming. Check it out if that's of interest to you. It is pretty interesting to look at the implications of everything done on the mountain onto the real estate market. Finally, as we wrap up, if you own a Fox Point condo and you're curious what it's worth, we'll show you really quickly as we conclude our webinar how you can find out. It's very easy. Go to BuyParkCityRealEstate.com. On that home page, scroll down to the Learn What Your Property is Worth section and complete another short form, or you can email Doug or myself. Let me show you the form. It's easy. So here I am. This is on BuyParkCityRealEstate.com, the home page. Scroll down. You're going past the Start Your Park City search. That's if you're looking for properties. Past some listings and a webinar. And you come to this section right here, Learn What Your Property is Worth in Today's Market. Identify what your property is, either the condo name and the unit number or the physical address, whatever is applicable. Describe it, number of bedrooms, bathrooms, approximate square footage. You've got pull down choices here, so it's really easy. And once you're done doing that, include your name and your email address. Again, your other contact information is optional. And then you come to this first one on this list. Click it here. It says contact me now for a free property value assessment. No cost, no obligation, but we'll get you the information you want. If you want any of these other items, click them. Again, back to the green button, click submit form. That comes to us. We'll contact you, get you the information you want. And you don't have to be trying to sell your property. You can just be curious, and if you're curious, we'll tell you what it is and kill the curiosity. Anyway, with that in mind, Fox Point Homeowner Association website is at foxpoint@redstone.com. Go there and you'll get news about the Homeowners Association. If you haven't visited that, has some current information. Certainly during the lawsuit and the improvements and the settlement, it was a very well-used website.
If you have any questions, please email your questions to us and we'll promptly answer them by email. And that's Ron@thewilsteinteam.com or Doug@thewilstein.com. WilsteinTeam.com, sorry. And if you want to call from us, include your phone number and a preferred time to contact you.
That's right. We will definitely give you a call, and always watch our monthly Park City Market Talk webinar. We cover some of the details we covered here, but in greater detail and a variety of topics on everybody's mind. And so it's worth checking out. Email us to be put onto that reminder list, but always posted on our websites. So thank you for watching our webinar. We appreciate it. We hope it's been informative.
Thanks for your time. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.